Thank you, Kumali, for the welcome to country. It's always a privilege to be here on Arundel land. Thank you, Sean, a recent Youth Roundtable member, current Young Australian of the Year in Year 12, doing a traineeship with the YMCA, volunteering at Headspace, and also working tables and doing dishes at one of my favourite local cafes. Now, as much as I love the goods, can we please give him a round of applause for his community work? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing the Alice and the Centre. Choosing to move here or choosing to stay here. It's a choice my great-grandmother made a while ago now. A single mother in Melbourne with 2 young boys. She was desperate for a job and she heard there was work going in Alice and she jumped the train here. The Underwoods gave her a chance and she was a hotel cook. It was here in the centre that my family stayed. I grew up around a kitchen table in Alice Springs and Tennant Creek. Darwin was not spoken of kindly. Still not spoken of. I will always fight the Berrima line. My blood is in the centre of Australia, and just as I was born here, as I was schooled here, it is now my job to make sure that every kid is born happy and healthy, stays on the right track, goes to a good school, gets a great education, can find their job, their dream here in a safe and prosperous territory. Today, I'll show you how we're getting it done. I think we've all heard it said that Alice Springs is the heart of the nation, both spiritually and geographically. That should be more than words. We often talk about old Alice and new Alice, but I think it's more accurate to say ancient, old and new. We want all 3 parts working together. We've been working hard with the Lirratippa to negotiate an Indigenous land use agreement, and they have been working hard with us. We now have an in-principle agreement. This will unlock land for Alice and more jobs for the Arundel, more recognition for the Arundel, more support for young and old Arundel. Detail on the 5 new parcels of land is in the kits that you got today, and there are also maps outside if you want to look at them. We are also working very positively with Irikalange, and I think we can say some good things in that space soon. I thank traditional owners for working with us and making decisions that benefit the whole community. Thank you for getting this done. Let's talk jobs. First, the airport. We have given $1 million in grants and $2 million in concessional loans so that more planes can be stored and maintained at the Alice Springs Airport, taking advantage of our desert weather. This will see us go from 20 planes to 50, from 20 new jobs to 40. Space. US company Viasat, with our very own CAT, are building a ground facility to help monitor satellites. This is a multi-million-dollar project and will be done by June. Loon, which is short for balloon, is a Google company which has shortlisted Alice Springs as its third global launch site. A decision is expected very soon, and right here in Alice is one of the best places to launch balloons if you want to service Asia. Data. Business needs good speeds. I think we all need good internet speeds. Business needs good speeds, and we are investing $7 million in upgrading our fibre optic network up and down the highway. This will take us from 400 gigabits to 20 terabits. If you don't know your giga from your tera, that is fast. That does mean our data can fly. And for some perspective, in SA at their airport, they're advertising Adelaide as a place to invest because they've got 10 gigabyte speeds. Alice will leave Adelaide for dead when it comes to fast internet. Our seniors. We've talked about Alice Springs as a retirement destination for a long time. Let's make it. Let's go for it. Let's test this. We have identified land and set it aside near the golf course for a seniors lifestyle village. We're going out now to developers for expression of interest in making that happen. Construction. There is a lot happening. I want to touch on two projects. Sitzler are about to begin construction on the 70 accommodation units for the hospital, and we will build a multi-storey car park at the hospital, tender out this year. Roads, we've got 67 million rolling out on the Plenty, and we've got $200 million happening on the Tanami. Cattle. The Indonesia-Australia Free Trade Agreement is good news for our pastoralists. This makes trade a lot easier and a lot less stressful from the years when we had that export ban. Minerals. The $1 billion Tanami gold mine expansion is happening right now. KGL Resources have said they'll start construction this year, and Arafura Resources have just reached an in-principle land use agreement for their place. And we've scrapped the incentives for fly-in, fly-out workers for all those mines and put in place instead incentives for local workers. Let's talk tourism, and often what is good for a tourist is also good for a local. The $12 million Westmax Red Centre Adventure Ride is in consultation with traditional owners, and there will be construction on stages this year. The $5.7 million Wataka National Park multi-day walking trail is in design after extensive consultation with traditional owners, and $3 million has gone into the Hermansburg Historical Precinct. And in the US, last night, they learned what you all already know, is that the red heart of Australia is where you can find love. The final two episodes of The Bachelor US aired last night and tonight, all shot here, and that exposure is estimated to be worth around 20 million US. While we talk tourism, I do think it's important I touch upon the coronavirus. We know it will have an impact. It will have a health impact, it will have an economic impact. What we don't know yet is the scale of that impact. What I do know is when times are tough, Territorians stick together. As a government, we've already put $2 million into a swift response to the impacts of the coronavirus. We are now working on what a second stimulus package will look like. We are very much aware that there will be businesses affected in addition to tourism businesses, and we're keeping that front of mind as we work on that package. I've been talking with the Prime Minister about the stimulus. The Australian government will act, the Northern Territory government will act. We will get this done.
The Northern Territory is an ideal location for Sun Cable to develop this new industry of intercontinental electricity exports. The solar resource within the Territory is exceptional and world class. Just as importantly, the Territory's jurisdiction is an ideal location to develop extremely large scale infrastructure. We found the entire process of dealing with government to be very efficient.
David Griffin, CEO and founder of the amazing Sun Cable project. The Territory will be home to the world's largest solar farm, 15,000 hectares, 22 million solar panels and a power line all the way to Singapore. Last year we got major project status. In November, two of Australia's best known billionaires, Mike Cannon-Brookes and Andrew Twiggy Forrest, also backed it. This is nation leading and world leading. It will create 300 ongoing permanent jobs in Tennant Creek. It will position the Territory as a world leader in renewables. This, in my opinion, is how you tackle climate change and create jobs. Why am I telling a roomful of Alice Springs people about Tennant Creek? This is not just a Tennant Creek story. Mike Cannon-Brookes has made it clear in making this investment that he sees it as a lighthouse project. In his words, this is the first, and there'll be 9 more to follow. Tennant can't have them all. I've tasked my department, Dale's tasked her department, we're working together on this, to identify prospective sites around Alice Springs so that we can make sure everyone is part of our solar future. We will get this done. Our kids know that solar is the future and they want to see our water protected too. With as much sun as we need in the centre, but I do know that you care deeply about your water. We take water seriously. We are the party that will protect water. We know fracking makes people anxious, and we've completely banned fracking anywhere near any strategic water assets. Your water will be safe. And because we saw the CLP hand water licences to their mates, we have made sure the process now is transparent and you can have confidence in it. The last few summers have been hard, and it does mean that we need to think and believe in new ways of managing our water resources cleverly. We can lead Australia from the centre. In 2021, I have directed my departments to organise and host here major water and sun conferences in Alice, for the centre, sharing our knowledge and learning from others. We can get this done and we can do it from here.
My name is Lily and I was born and grew up in Mparntwe, Alice Springs. I went to primary and high school here and then I moved to Melbourne to go to university. After 8 years away, I realised just how unique Central Australia is, and it's the people, the cultures, the landscape and the sense of community that makes this place so special. So I decided to move back to Alice Springs because I wanted to be part of and contribute to the town that I grew up in, and many of my friends have done the same. When people think of Alice Springs, I don't want them to think of a town divided or a town in trouble. I want them to think of a safe, vibrant and inclusive community, because this is the Alice Springs that I grew up in, and this is how it should be for all children, young people, families and individuals who call Mparntwe Alice Springs their home.
I love how Lily talked about Alice. That's the Alice I know. It's the Alice I think you all know too. Or the Alice you used to know. It's the Alice we've got to get back to. I know a lot of you are worried. You don't always feel safe. I get it. I understand people's frustrations. I've listened to residents and business owners. I've walked the streets with the police, youth engagement officers, and others. When I was here a few weeks ago, I spent time at the 7 p.m. shift change, chaired by police. It's there that those people who play their part in keeping our streets safe at night, our cops, our Newton Gate night officers, TAM, public housing safety officers, compare notes before starting work for the night. Everyone in that room was committed to keeping homes and businesses safe, to stopping crime and to keeping our kids safe too. They barely had to look down at their notes. They knew the kids, they knew the families, and I think you know the story unfortunately, where they live, why they're in town. The men and women on the front lines are working their asses off. They have extraordinary skill, dedication and resolve, but no one has a silver bullet. And I think you know there's not a silver bullet. The solution is hard work. I guarantee you that extra policing resources that you have now will stay in place until May, when even more police come down. There are 30 in training right now, and they'll be posted direct to Alice. Hard work is how we tackled the alcohol problem. We did the work, we put in the resources, and the rivers of grog dried up. No one wants to hear me reciting stats tonight, but there is one that I think is important to note, that we have seen a 50% reduction in alcohol-related emissions to the Alice Springs Emergency Department. Imagine if the police were having to try to deal right now with overwhelming drunks and kids. We cannot do that to our police. I've seen the CLP say they'll roll back our alcohol reforms. In my opinion, that is a big mistake. That will mean the rivers of grog will run again. It will make it harder for us to deal with the problems that we know we've got to deal with in Alice Springs. I don't believe we should be doing that to our police and other people who are working on the front line. On patrol that night, I also learned that there are a lot of kids who've come in from outlying communities. And why are they coming here? I learned that too. The unworkable changes that the Australian government has made to the CDP means many adults are stuck out bush without money. So where do they come? If you need money and you haven't got it, you come to Alice. When the internet goes down in Utopia and the cashless debit card isn't working, where do you come? Alice. These policy and practical failures from Canberra are pushing problems straight to Alice Springs. We need the feds to get involved in a good way, not an intervention, a resurrection. I've said before, and it's now critical, the Federal Department of Indigenous Affairs, that's now buried deep inside the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, needs to be resurrected and relocated to Alice Springs. The people are here, not Canberra. The problems are here, not Canberra. They come to the heart of the nation. If to live with us, work with us, solve our problems with us, then they will finally know where their responsibilities lie. It is why we are urging Ken Wyatt, as the Minister for Indigenous Australians, to join with us in working respectfully on how we solve these problems and get it done. We have a job to do as a Territory government, the Australian government has a job to do too, and we will do it together. Those are well-known, world-famous names of great artists. The National Aboriginal Art Gallery here in Alice Springs will also be world-famous. It's huge for jobs and it's huge for tourism. More than that, we'll put Aboriginal art at the front and centre of Alice, unlock private investment and help us develop the CBD. This is not just another tourism product. This will impact the entirety of Central Australia. We've had our frustrations, but I'm not going to die wondering. We will see it built in our CBD. We've consulted extensively. There are opponents, there are supporters, but there is much more support than there is dissent. We have listened to all voices respectfully. We can do this respectfully. We listened and acted respectfully on Parchment, and we will listen and act respectfully when it comes to the art gallery. We will talk to the Alice Springs Town Council about the land we need to get this art gallery built. But let's be clear, if we have to acquire it, we will. If negotiation doesn't work, we will acquire. Alice wants action, Alice wants an art gallery, and we will get it done. It's a photo of my great-grandmother and my grandfather, somewhere between Darwin and Alice. I'm asking you to look forward, so why am I looking back? We have been through the hard times together, and we are now turning the corner. Kids don't get a better education when their teachers get sacked. Families don't get ahead with higher power prices. We cannot let an iconic international art gallery be blocked by petty politics. We are backing renewables. We are backing a new way to think about jobs and life in the centre. We are backing Alice Springs. We are getting it done. Thank you all for coming tonight. Myself and the team will be outside, and we're more than happy to talk with all of you. Thank you very much.